Hello and welcome. Manish, they say right in the middle of the week, which is today, a Wednesday, is when you need the most motivation.
Yeah, and also when you get the most traffic coming into work.
Exactly, that's true. Well, please keep sending in your love, and here's your daily dose of Bollywood and social media updates. This is me, Gunjan.
और मैं हूं मनीष and welcome to Planet Bollywood. शो की शुरुआत करेंगे, लेकिन उससे पहले let's take a look at our top trending stories. फिल्म पानीपत और बाजीराव मस्तानी के लुक के कंपैरिजन पे नीता लुल्ला ने दिया एक स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट.
यामी गौतम ने अपने स्ट्रगलिंग डेज की स्टोरीज की शेयर एक्सक्लूसिवली ऑन जूम. कहा उनको बुलाया गया था ऑर्डिनरी. लारा दत्ता ने मी टू पर दिया अपना एक्सक्लूसिव स्टेटमेंट टू जूम सेइंग यू आर ईदर फॉर द मूवमेंट और अगेंस्ट द मूवमेंट.
The Arjun Kapoor, Kriti Sanon and Sanjay Dutt starred film Panipat का ट्रेलर पिछले हफ्ते रिलीज हुआ and the internet exploded with everyone saying that there looks like a lot of similarities between Panipat and the very successful film Bajirao Mastani.
और इस पर द डिजाइनर ऑफ द फिल्म नीता लुल्ला ने दिया है अपना स्टेटमेंट. शी सेड Panipat is set in the era as the same era as Bajirao Mastani, so how do I change the references? Sadashiv Rao Bhau, who's the Arjun Kapoor's character, is the nephew of Bajirao Peshwa. Parvati Bai, who's Sanon's character, is Sadashiv Rao's wife. I cannot change history to make the costumes look different. While there were different designers for Sanjay Leela Bhansali, here she's designing the looks.
That's right. Which brings us to a question to you guys. The question is it correct to compare two films which are set in the same era based on the fact that their costumes and looks are very similar? Do write in using the hashtag and let us know. Well, Gunjan, जब पानीपत का ट्रेलर रिलीज हुआ था, we had seen a lot of feedback on the fact कि the costumes looked very similar of these two films, namely Panipat and Bajirao Mastani. और उस वक्त हमने भी कहा था कि yes, they look similar, but what one needs to understand is that it's a very similar space that both these films are being made in. जहाँ पर time zone, the time frame within which these two events have happened were very similar, and not just that, their geographical locations were very similar. और जैसे हम देखते हैं ना, you know, it's like if I'm making a film based on say an Indian girl who is coming from Punjab, ऐसा ही होगा कि अगर ऐसी एक दूसरी फिल्म बने तो उनका भी लुक सिमिलर होगा, उनका भी मतलब जैसे व्यवहार होता है या whatever they're doing, बोलने का स्टाइल होता है, will be very similar. So I don't feel it's correct to compare these two.
Absolutely, but the thing is कि भाई Bajirao Mastani was a huge hit, right? And that look of Ranveer Singh has stayed with people.
Yes.
So even when it's recreated, see, it has not been recreated for as many years, it hasn't. And now अभी कुछ साल के difference में when another character comes up from the same sort of background, people will be like, आपने तो copy किया है.
Correct.
But of course, I think filmmakers should have known, or probably they knew that comparisons तो होंगे, right? Because if you are making something from a similar era, there will be people who will now have more reference because of Ranveer Singh and Bajirao Mastani. Having said that, their only sort of leeway is going to be the fact कि story कितनी different होने वाली है. और हमने मनीष देख लिया है, even with Bala and Ujjwala Chaman, where this, like, everything was sort of so similar.
Correct.
Audience were nice enough to give them their own chance and judge them for what they were. And I think ठीक है, आई थिंक फॉर मीम्स करने के लिए या फिर ट्रोल करने के लिए, या जब ट्रेलर आता है कुछ तो बात करनी पड़ती है, उसके लिए इट मेक्स सेंस राइट नाउ कि चलो कंपैरिजन ही सही. बट आई थिंक इट्स ओनली व्हेन द मूवी कम्स आउट दैट ऑडियंस विल बी द राइट जज ऑफ व्हाट्स इनसाइड.
राइट, एंड जैसे लाइक यू सेड, यू नो, कि स्टोरी बहुत डिफरेंट होगी. आई मीन, एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट वन नीड्स टू रियली पे अटेंशन टू. द फैक्ट कि ट्रेलर में साफ नजर आ रहा है कि पानीपत का स्टोरी इज अबाउट अ वॉर, is about a battle and is about a right for land. और बाजीराव मस्तानी का ये थीम था, was a love story set in a war-torn zone. So the stories seem very different, but of course it's going to be that their costumes and looks are very similar. अगर हम देखें तो Arjun Kapoor's character, even the mustache that he has, the shikha that he has on his head, the bindu that he has on his forehead are very similar to what Ranveer Singh carried off in Bajirao Mastani. And likewise with Kriti Sanon, and there is a huge similarity between Kriti Sanon and Priyanka Chopra from Bajirao Mastani. So yes, these things are going to happen, and like Neeta Lulla rightfully said, she cannot change history just to make the costumes look different. That would be unfair and unjust to the film. और अगर वो किया होता ना तो फिर सभी लोग ये उठ के बोल लेते कि अरे लेकिन आपने you weren't correct and you didn't pick up the costume and the references correctly for that time. तो वहाँ पर भी criticism मिलता है इनको. So it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
True that, but having said that, we hope. I think, like they said, कि हर तरह की publicity बहुत बढ़िया होती है
Yes.
movie के लिए. Now that it's being compared to Bajirao Mastani, what's there to lose? I mean,
Yeah.
you're already set for greatness. So let's hope the story does the justice and audience loves it. If not as much, then more than Bajirao Mastani. Former Miss Universe and Bollywood actor Lara Dutta ने Zoom से exclusively बात की. While she spoke about a lot of things during this interview, she also mentioned her stand on Me Too movement. Let's hear her out.
See, to be very honest, a lot of when Me Too started happening, a lot of the names that were being taken were people that I've worked with, people that I'm friends with, and the point of the matter is not who are the people that are being named. You know what I'm saying? That today, the fact of the matter is, if you decide to take a stand, you either take a stand, you're either for it or you're not. You know, so if I am for it, regardless of what those repercussions are going to be, because I have no control over what are the names that are going to come out.
Yeah.
But regardless of what the repercussions are going to be, and they're bound to be repercussions, it's a small industry, it's a very close-knit industry. You either believe a woman when she says she's gone through what she's gone through, or you call her a liar.
Yeah.
You have two choices. So for me as a woman, I stood because of what I have seen. I can't say that I have experienced a Me Too moment in my career, but from what I have seen around me, yes, a lot of times people have said, oh, but you know, certain women have abused that, they've really taken advantage of it. Yes, possibly, yes, that has happened as well. But that does not mean that every single woman that has spoken out has been somebody that's, you know, decided to victimize herself and take advantage of a situation. So you either take a stand or you don't take a stand. And I think with Hesh and me, we have honestly nothing to lose. We're self-made people. We came from nowhere. We made whatever that we did on our own 2 feet. So it's not about standing here and pointing fingers or sitting on a high horse and pointing fingers at anybody else. But all that we ever wanted to ever say is that it's about time that that women got their due, you know, that voices got heard. And that's about it. So if the end of the day, if people are going to go running because of whatever they might feel that they're going to be called out or, you know, whatever's going to happen, that's their business. You know, at the end of the day, it's exactly the same, whether it's Me Too or whether it's the HIV/AIDS campaign, you either take a stand or you don't.
Well, there you have Lara Dutta articulating very well that you're either with a movement or you're not with the movement. You're never in between it. Well, I think, Gunjan, that's quite well said, right?
Absolutely, and it was high time it had to be said because we saw that a lot of people spoke about Me Too movement when it was comfortable to talk about it. जैसे ही the eyes or the fingers were on somebody in their circle, we saw a lot of people who sort of held back या फिर उन्होंने उसके बारे में बात करना शुरू कर दी. Or that is where the benefit of doubt started creeping in. But like she says, the rules are same. You can be for it and you can be against it. It's like being pregnant. You're not halfway there. You know, you have to commit to it. So if you are for the movement, then you have to go all the way through it.
Yeah, and like she said that, you know, there have been cases where, you know, there have been false claims against various men. I mean, we saw the whole Karan Oberoi situation a couple of months ago, jahan par he was falsely accused of being an abuser to his female counterpart, and then through investigations they realized that this was actually a fake allegation. Having said that, I mean, he did still suffer a lot of time in jail unnecessarily without him being actually guilty. But that's what she says, that there are going to be some casualties. There will be some people who will suffer, you know, just to kind of make the movement pick up steam and become a larger topic of discussion.
Right.
And that's the case with everything.
True, but
you know?
that's, yeah, also not to forget that this is just the 1 or the 2% of casualties that we're talking about. The 98% of the cases, we can't sort of brush them under the carpet. And the fact is that 98% of the women have true stories and they finally have a platform. तो भाई उनको बोलने दीजिए 1 or 2%. So I think it's sort of like anything that good comes, there is some bit of bad that's going to happen. But then I think that is why you take the legal course, right?
Right. You know what's also really interesting about Lara Dutta's statement is that वो कह रही हैं कि इंडस्ट्री एक बहुत छोटी जगह है, alright, और सभी लोग सब एक दूसरे को जानते हैं. और कुछ समय पहले, you know, we were talking about how Mahesh Bhupati had actually, you know, written an article and he had spoken about how everyone who is on a set and who is an observer to this kind of misdemeanor and misbehavior is an accomplice to this kind of abuse. So she has actually said that that this is something that we have to take a stand against. You have to believe the woman when she is saying that, because it's not like she hasn't seen it in her surroundings.
Right, and पता है Manish बहुत ज़्यादा important हो जाता है क्योंकि every time fingers are sort of pointed at somebody ना, their close friend comes out and says हमारे साथ तो ऐसा नहीं हुआ. You know, we don't know him as this person, and that
Which
is
may
when,
be true. Which may be true. I
but
mean,
yeah,
आपके साथ नहीं हुआ, but इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि नहीं हो रहा है.
Exactly.
You know, so that's the thing that one needs
that's
to
the
look
thing,
at.
and that is why it's also very important that Mahesh Bhagwati, when he said about this, he said it didn't happen to Lara, but every time she would come back from houseful sets and they were dating at that point in time, she knew this was happening to somebody else, and at that point in time they were complicit. The fact that they didn't take the ownership of saying something or not even saying right now sort of adds to the whole equation. So we know, and I think that is where she's sort of pointing the fingers कि industry इतनी छोटी है. Probably it might not be happening to you, but you know who it is happening to. And even after knowing that, because it hasn't happened to you, if you don't say, you are against the movement.
That's right. That's actually a great way of summing it up, Gunjan. And of course, Lara Dutta calling a spade, saying you're either with a movement or against a movement, whether it is the rights of the LGBTQ community or the HIV Foundation or the Me Too movement. And those of you sitting at home and watching this, or wherever you are watching this, do write in and let us know what you think about Lara Dutta's statement. In an exclusive interview with Zoom, actress from the super hit film Bala, Yami Gautam spoke about her journey into Bollywood and the criticism she faced for being too ordinary looking.
Exactly. Let's hear what she had to say and then we'll come back and discuss.
I remember a girl just said, "Can you just touch up your pimple on the cheek?" I said, "Pimple on the cheek?" And the room was full. I said, "There's no pimple on the cheek." "There is, and we don't have that much time, you know. Could you just fix it?" I said, "It's not there." Then I saw the mirror. I said, she's like, "Oh, that's your dimple. I thought that's your pimple." I was at that time I was very embarrassed but now of course I laugh at it. But I have had rejections. I remember walking in at in a very popular ad commercial. I got selected. And there had to be 5-6 of us girls getting very important part. All of us had our own part, and they were giving me a look which I was not comfortable with, and I just said very politely that I'm not looking like myself, or I was very new. I didn't know even how to put across. And I said, he said, "Yeah, but this is not about you. This is about." You know how they actually say in films, I remember as well, that you're just a model here. You don't have to say anything. I said, "Yeah, but it's my face. And, if nobody will recognize me, then how will I get to work?" Some logic I had, and I don't know, I got ready, then my shot didn't come, they didn't take my shot. Next day again, I've got fully ready. Till the time I see a girl walking and I was told, "Just leave." I said, "But I've been here since 2 days, you didn't inform me." He said, I was so full of emotions. I was about to break down. And I thought it was very unfair for them to have me ready. And for what? I even agreed to whatever look they had to give me. And I said, "Okay, fine, no problem." And the moment I sat down in the car, I remember I cried so much. I called my parents and I said, "I've been replaced like that." They didn't give me any explanation, nothing. I just said 2 lines and they replaced me for that. And they said something on the monitor that, on my face. I remember that, you're a very ordinary looking girl and we have to make something interesting work out on your face. And I didn't know what it meant. You're pretty, but you're a very ordinary girl. So I was, but these are the things, these are little, and I remember telling my dad on the phone that, "Papa, I promise you one thing, that I'm not leaving the city till the time I don't leave a mark or I don't make a mark."
Well, pimple और dimple में फर्क किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा, वही मतलब ताज्जुब की बात है. But having said that, yes, there has been this criticism that she did face, and apart from her, Gunjan, there have been lots of other actresses in the past as well who have faced criticism for not just being too ordinary looking, but for being too dark, too fat, too short, too thin. There have been all these kinds of pigeonholes that these women have been fit into, and their acting prowess has come next. last after everything else.
बिल्कुल, मतलब ये जो stereotypical idea है ना, and especially I think हर तरह से वो जो idea है वो कहीं ना कहीं deconstruct हुआ है, whether it's been with actors, supporting cast, but वो heroines के साथ ना it's still like as is it was 50 years ago.
Right.
And the fact is कि भाई चाहिए हमको heroine ऐसी जो देखते ही ऐसे याद आ जाए. And the fact is even saying that you're pretty but ordinary pretty is another stereotype that we're still fueling in.
Right. And yeah, when she did come into the industry with Vicky Donor, and then of course she did Kabil, which she didn't do a bad job at. She was a pretty good actress. She was a really good actress in both these films. It's just that she didn't get her due credit. And now suddenly Bala के साथ में सब अब यही कह रहे हैं कि wow, Yami Gautam has surprised everyone. Why is it a surprise? It's not a surprise because she's actually a good actress and she could pull off that role.
Exactly. Finally, एक ऐसा role मिला है where you could notice her, where you could see more of her.
Right.
And I think sort of that surprise has come at a good time, and that is why she can now say. And more than that, Manish, I think this is the struggle with everybody. Like,
Yes.
हर किसी की USP को उसकी खामी बताना, I think Bollywood बहुत खूबी से करता आया है. Whether it is somebody's voice, somebody's color, somebody's how tall or short they are, and I think everybody has to. I think it's the beauty of it that only then do you also sort of deserve to get yourself called a superstar. क्योंकि You've been told by 1,000 people, नहीं आप तो नहीं कर पाएंगे, आपसे नहीं हो पाएगा. ये क्या है? ये डिम्पल इधर क्यों है? पिंपल है ये.
Yeah, there have been lots of actresses in the past whose looks and screen presence have been questioned, and starting with Anushka Sharma, जहाँ पर करण जौहर ने पहली बार उनकी फिल्म देखी थी, and उन्होंने कहा था कि इसमें तो यार कुछ है नहीं. But then later, after he watched Band Baja Barat, he called her up and he apologized and he said that you actually do have a star power, and today she's ruling over an empire of not just a successful acting career but a production house, a happy family, and she's traveling and she's doing all these great things with her life. Did you know that Malaika Arora Khan was criticized when she started off in as a model? Today तो हम सब उन्हें ऐसे मतलब खूबसूरती की मूरत मानते हैं और पूछते हैं, but when she started off her career in the industry as a model, she was told that you're too dark and you're too short to make it in the industry, and look where she's reached today. Rekha ji has actually said in an interview, she has said, I'm so grateful to those who smirked and said, तू इतनी काली और मोटी है, अपनी शक्ल कभी देखी है तूने आईने में. And these kinds of things have only driven and pushed Rekha ji to become the diva, one of the most beautiful women the industry has ever seen today. I mean, look at the prowess, look at the talent, look at the amazing resilience that these women have had. और अब वक्त हो गया है एक छोटा सा break लेने का, but don't go anywhere because we will be right back. And this is where you are an active part of the episode. This is PB Audience Reacts, जहां पर आप हमें आपके comments भेजते हैं और हम आपके टॉप कमेंट्स इस सेगमेंट में पढ़ते हैं. और पहली स्टोरी जो हमने आपके साथ शेयर की थी वाज अबाउट गुलशन देवैया कॉलिंग आउट वीटो कास्टिंग, और उस पर आपके काफी सारे रिस्पॉन्सेज आए हैं.
Sameer Sheikh said, "Oh, please stop giving excuse of nepotism targeting star kids. There are other actors such as Ayushmann Khurrana and Rajkumar Rao who've proved themselves and their talent. Don't blame others for your flop career. Do hard work and achieve that position. Don't give every time this nepotism excuse." I don't see it as an excuse though.
Well, he has a point of view and we can't obviously ignore that, which is why we're reading it on the show. Agniv Sen says, Manish sir, Sagarika ma'am, Gunjan ma'am and the Planet Bollywood team, I salute you for bringing the hush topic which has been raised by Gulshan Devaia. He's right in every aspect. Stars at times behave like pseudo casting directors and ruin many careers.
First of all, Manish, I have to say, nobody on social media gives you so much of respect while making a point. And that sort of shows that, when you respectfully make a point, you listen better.
Yes.
And we did listen it better. Pankaj Gupta said every outsider who's not successful in Bollywood gives the same reason. That's nepotism. Stop it. Actors like Deepika, Ranveer, Priyanka, Rajkumar Rao, Siddharth Malhotra, Tara Sutaria, etc. were also outsiders, but they are successful because they were more hardworking than him. At the end of the day, only talent matters, nothing else.
Well, ये थे आपके comments on the story about Gulshan Devaia and the veto casting situation that he called out. फिर हमारी अगली story जो हमने आपके साथ share की थी was about Kriti Kharbanda actually saying that Sajid Nadiadwala had told her when she was cast for Houseful 4 कि इस फिल्म में आपको acting का तो मौका नहीं मिलेगा, but you will have a lot of fun. And we asked you guys whether there is a scope for female actors in comedy films, और उस पर आपके जवाब आए हैं.
Jahadul Islam said it was never said that the female doesn't need to act. It was said the character she's playing. If the movie is working, that means that there is an audience. Since there's an audience, you can't stop them from not making the movie. The numbers came in majority.
Sujata Mohanty says Katrina's role in Ajab Prem Ki Gazab Kahani and Mere Brother Ki Dulhan are examples where she has been given quite a big role and substantial one.
Harsha says, obviously they haven't given their due. In every comedy film, there should be comedy which should have jokes. But in Bollywood, making sexist remarks or fat-shaming or making fun of LGBTQ community, for example, in many films, transgender are also shown like that. And I think he does have a point.
Yes, he does have a point. I think we need to stop this, caricaturish comedy that has been existent in Bollywood for very many decades. Sometimes if done well, it can be extremely funny, but most of the times it's just, unnecessary.
Bad taste,
in
exactly.
bad taste.
And then we also took the story about Akshay Kumar giving a reply through a video about him and Rohit Shetty having a fallout. Aapke comments bhi aaye hain, let's read them out.
Agniv Sen says, this is amazing. This video made my day. Instead of quarreling with the media and writing essays on Twitter, this is a reply which is entertaining.
Joy Kishan says, this is the best way to shut up the ones who are spreading false rumors. Well done, Aki.
Wilma D'Souza says, अच्छा बनाया अक्षय कुमार ने मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया छा गए पाजी और तुसी भी छा गए हो. Thank you so much for sending in all your comments. They're very intellectual, very articulate, and we love reading them out here on the show.
But unfortunately, Manish, this is where we have to say goodbye to you. This is where we end the show. This is me, Gunjan, signing off.
And me, Manish Anand, reminding you guys to come back tomorrow, same time, same place, only on Zoom.